New South Wales, and it's near Narrabri and up about 2 hours from Tamworth. We've come today from Hanging Rock National Park, south of Tamworth, probably about an hour south of Tamworth or two, and we've just driven up through Gunnedah, and tonight we're staying here for a couple of nights in these hills that are ahead of us, and we're very excited. It's our first night of a multiple night sleep in one place for a while, so we're pretty keen to do that.
Yep.
And looking forward to finding out what it looks like. Hello, Mum. Got a beautiful eastern grey kangaroo, and I don't know whether you can see in the pouch, but there's a little Joey in there. So sweet. And there's a other bub there, little boy.
That's got its feet out.
Yeah, it had its head out before, and now its feet are sticking out. Hello, Mum. How you going?
It looks uncomfortable.
Oh yeah. When's he going to move out of home? Oh. Have a good evening, guys. Hello and welcome to our camping spot in Mount Kaputar National Park in New South Wales. We're here for 3 nights and we're not going to be driving anywhere in the next couple of days, so we need to charge our fridge and our accessories using our solar blanket that we purchased. Now we've done a bit of research and we've been using a Ryder 200 watt solar blanket with an MPPT controller, and so far it's been absolutely brilliant. Up till now though, when we put the solar blanket out, we've been putting it out in really hot sunny conditions, and it's really been working well. Today's quite shady, so it's going to be a bit of a test for the solar blanket to see whether it'll actually charge the battery when it's shady and there's some dappled shade over the panel. So let's get stuck into it while I've got a bit of sun. First of all, this is the solar blanket. As you can see, it folds up really quite small. It's about 40 centimeters square. With the solar blanket comes the MPPT controller over here. We've also got an extension cable of 5 meters, which means you can take the blanket and put it out in the sun within 5 meters of where your power outlet is. And you've also got a pair of alligator clips and an Anderson plug if you want to plug straight into any other battery. It could be your cranking battery, or if you don't have your battery hardwired to an Anderson plug, you can use the alligator clips. But we've got ours wired into the battery, so I'm going to put the blanket onto the bonnet and see if we can get some sun. So if you follow me, I'll try and set it up for you. Alright, let's go. Alright, first thing we do is roll out the blanket. As you can see, it's got quite a large surface area, which is great for something that folds up so small, and it's very light compared to a lot of the hard panels that you can buy. And it's 200 watt, which is more than enough for us. We just run a fridge and a few accessories. We might want to charge our walkie-talkies or our toothbrushes or our phones, but the fridge is the main thing that we want to keep all of our food cold. So that's why we have the sole blanket. All right, now I'll show you how to connect it all up. So there's a definite order in how to put it together. The first thing you do is you connect the battery to the controller. That's step number one. So you can see here that we've got a marking on here, step one with the battery, right? So you find that Anderson plug just here. And we click those together like so. Right, if you come around, you can see that there's a green light here. It's kind of flashing on your screen, but that's a solid green light. That means the battery's connected correctly to the MPPT controller and there's actually a charge there. The next step is to connect the blanket to the charger, to the MPPT controller, I should say. I'm going to do it via this extension cord. So you put one end into the other plug, like so. Click those together. And the final step is to plug the extension cable that comes from the controller into the solar blanket. Click those together, like so, and it's all connected. Now there's quite a bit of shade on the blanket at the moment, as you can see if you have a look at that. So let's just now check whether we're actually getting any charge. I'm not expecting there to be much at all. But I'm very happy to say that if you have a look at the PV, which means photovoltaic, or the solar blanket, is actually now sending a charge through the cable to the battery that I've got set up, which means we're getting charge into our fridge, which is great. So follow me and I'll show you what's happening down the other end. And if we have a look at the back, you'll see a little display and it says 12.6. That's lovely Mary's finger there. 12.6 volts, which means the battery's nice and healthy and there's plenty of charge. I don't expect it to jump up in this weather with this shadow and this shade, but it's certainly going to keep enough voltage trickling in to charge my Engel fridge, because the fridge is set to a reasonably warmish temperature of about 6 degrees at the moment. Because we're in cool climate up here on the mountains, I don't really need to crank it up, so it should keep pace, at least for an hour or two, keep pace with our fridge, which is all we really need. As long as we can supplement the charge for when we start up the car and drive around in a couple of days, we should have enough to keep this fridge nice and cold and our accessories charged. So there you have it, the solar blanket plugged in and good to go. Well, see you next time. Welcome to Mount Kaputar in New South Wales. We are at the summit, 1,510 metres above sea level, and we can see, apparently you can see 1/10 of New South Wales from here. That's what I heard word of mouth from someone who was doing some bird watching just 5 minutes ago. Yeah. These mountains, just for your information, were formed by two volcanoes that erupted between 21 and 17 million years ago. The rest of the land around here is quite flat, so you could well imagine that a volcano would have erupted through here, which is kind of cool. And it's been a fantastic journey. We've had a nice 1 kilometre or so hike up the hill. The old thighs are burning, aren't they, Mary?
Yes, they are. Come closer.
Come closer so they can hear you.
Yeah, we did the actual hike itself. The trail was closed due to fires, as you can see in the video. Lots of bush has been burnt around here, but we just walked up the road, which was a nice upward 1 kilometre hike.
That's right, and today we'll do a bit more exploring around the place and a bit more walking, and we'll bring you more later on. Well, we're driving down the mountain. We've just spent 3 wonderful nights at Mount Kaputar National Park campgrounds, and I've got to say, 5-star, I tell you. Well looked after, hot showers, clean amenities, fire pits, and plenty to look at up here with a few walking trails. The summit is beautiful, and I'd really recommend it to anyone. So from here we're heading off to Lightning Ridge and have a bit of a look around the north central New South Wales area before finding somewhere to camp later on. Well, here we go.
Here we go.